The first Galactic Council meeting was a spectacle. Species from 1,000 worlds gathered, their forms a dizzying array of biological marvels, the Takari beings of pure energy. Hummed in harmonic greeting, the silicon-based Gorn rumbled their pleasantries through resonating crystals. Every race had a voice, a unique way to communicate, contributing to the symphony of galactic diplomacy. Then, there was us. Humanity. We arrived in our simple, functional ships, clad in practical environmental suits. We took our designated seats, and when it was our turn to introduce ourselves, our representative simply stood, nodded once, and sat back down, in silence. A ripple of confusion spread through the grand chamber. The council moderator, a towering insectoid named Xyler, buzzed nervously. "Esteemed delegates from Earth," he began, his voice a series of clicks and whistles. "The council extends its greetings. We await your introductory address." Our delegate remained seated, her face unreadable behind her helmet's visor. Days turned into weeks. The council debated trade routes, stellar cartography, and mutual defense pacts. Humanity participated in every session. We voted using simple digital signals. We saw data flawlessly formatted and encrypted. We followed every protocol, every rule, every piece of galactic etiquette. But we never spoke, not a single word. This unnerved the other species. They tried everything. Telepaths from the Cygnian system attempted to read our minds, but were met with a calm, impenetrable wall of static. Linguistic experts analyzed our every gesture, trying to decipher a hidden language, but found only efficiency and purpose. They assumed we were primitive, incapable of complex speech. They pitied us, then patronized us, offering to uplift us with communication technology. We politely declined, with a simple, silent shake of the head. The galaxy began to whisper. Who were these silent apes? What were they hiding behind that stoic quiet? Their silence wasn't born of inability, but of choice. It was a deliberate, unnerving decision. A species that could cross the stars but chose not to speak. The idea was terrifying. It implied a confidence, a self-assurance that bordered on arrogance. It implied they didn't need to persuade, to debate, to bargain. The breaking point came during the Kretho crisis. The Krathok were a marauding horde, a locust-like species that consumed entire star systems. They had shattered the fleets of 3 elder races and were now approaching the core worlds. The council descended into chaos. Species shrieked and wailed, pointing fingers, their complex languages dissolving into panicked noise. Fleets were recalled to defend home systems. Alliances fractured, and the grand symphony of the galaxy became a cacophony of fear. Throughout it all, the human delegation sat in their seats, motionless, silent. Xyler, in a last, desperate plea, turned to them. Humans, say something. Anything. Your silence is a void in this chaos. Will you not even speak as our galaxy dies? Then, for the first time, our delegate stood. The chamber fell silent. Every eye, every sensor, every psychic probe in the room focused on the lone human figure. She slowly raised a hand, not to her helmet's comms unit, but to a datapad on her wrist. A single message flashed onto the main view screen. Its simple, blocky text a stark contrast to the elegant scripts of the other races. It read, "We are not silent, we are listening." And below that, a second message appeared. This one, a live feed. It showed 1,000 human warships, a fleet larger than any the galaxy had ever seen, decloaking at the edge of the Krothok invasion corridor. They weren't speaking, they were acting. The galaxy had been talking about the problem. Humanity had been building the solution. The other races watched in stunned silence. As the human fleet engaged there were no battle cries, no triumphant shouts. Only the cold, silent, terrifyingly efficient execution of a perfectly planned war. The galaxy didn't hear humanity speak that day. Instead, they heard the silent screams of the Krathok Empire as it was dismantled, piece by piece, by a species that understood that some things are more powerful than words. The galaxy finally understood. Humanity's silence wasn't a weakness. It was a weapon. And in that silence, the universe learned a new definition of dread. Thanks for tuning in to our story tonight. If you enjoyed this dive into Sci-Fi, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tailies from across the galaxy. Let us know in the comments what you thought about humanity's silent strategy. Until next time, stay curious. The Galactic Concordance convened, a shimmering assembly of beings from 1,000 worlds. They had gathered to welcome the newest sentient species to their ranks. Humanity. The delegation from Earth, clad in simple, dark uniforms, stood silently on the central dais. The High Counselor of the Xylos, a being of crystalline light, began the traditional greeting. Speak, newcomers, and share your name, your world, your story. Join the chorus of the cosmos. Silence. The humans just stood there, their faces unreadable, their posture relaxed but firm. The counselor cleared its throat, a sound like tinkling chimes. Perhaps you did not understand the translation. We welcome you. Please, speak. Again. Only silence from the human delegation. A ripple of unease spread through the vast chamber. Whispers echoed in a dozen different communication forms: telepathy, sonar clicks, pheromonal bursts. Who were these strange, silent mammals? Days turned into weeks. The humans attended every session. They obeyed, they listened, they learned. They absorbed data on galactic history, technology, and culture at a terrifying rate. Yet, they never uttered a single word. They communicated among themselves with subtle gestures and glances, a language no one could decipher. The galaxy's best linguists and telepaths were stumped. Trying to read the humans' minds was like staring into a placid, dark ocean. You knew there were depths, but you couldn't see a thing. The Concordance grew fearful. Silence was not a concept they understood. Every other species had announced their presence with joy and pride. To be silent was to be hiding something. Was it a weakness they were concealing? Or was it a strength so profound they had no need for words? The Thrax, a warrior race known for their bluntness, challenged the humans directly. Their war leader, a mountain of muscle and carapace, roared. Why do you not speak? Are you cowards? Or do you think you are better than us? The human leader simply met his gaze, a slight, almost imperceptible smile playing on his lips. The war leader, for the first time in his life, felt a chill of genuine fear and took a step back. The galaxy began to spin theories. Some believed humanity was a hive mind, their individual bodies mere puppets. Others thought they were synthetic beings, waiting for an activation command. The most terrifying theory was that they were cosmic predators, studying their prey before the strike. Their silence became a weapon, more potent than any super-dreadnought. It created a vacuum that every other species filled with their own worst fears. Trade routes were altered to bypass human-controlled space. Research projects were launched to develop defenses against an enemy they couldn't comprehend. The galaxy was effectively frozen in dread. Finally, after a year of this unnerving quiet, the High Counselor approached the human delegation alone. Desperation had replaced ceremony. Please, it pulsed, its light dimming with anxiety. Tell us what you want. We will give you anything. Just speak. The human leader, a woman with silver streaks in her hair, looked at the counselor. She then looked around the empty chamber, her eyes seeming to pierce the very walls. For the first time, she opened her mouth. Her voice, clear and steady, echoed in the vast hall, transmitted to every corner of the terrified galaxy. She said just one word. Listen. And in that moment, the galaxy understood. Humanity hadn't been silent out of arrogance or malice. They had been observing, learning, and most importantly, listening. In a galaxy full of noise, of species clamoring to be heard, one had chosen to listen first. They had learned more about the Concordance in 1 year of silence than the Concordance had learned about itself in a millennium. Their silence wasn't a threat, it was a lesson, and as that single word hung in the air, the galaxy finally began to listen back, with a new sense of respect and a profound, lingering dread of what humanity might say next. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more sci-fi adventures. See you next time.